As I said earlier, UBA Capital reported a Q1 revenue jump of 194% to 890.2 million naira, while profit after tax went up 92% to 576 million naira. Now, joining us to discuss the company's results is Rasheed Olaoluwa. He's the Group CEO of UBA Capital. It's really good to have you on the show today. Let's get straight into taking a look at some of those numbers that came out of your Q1 results. Of course, you know, strong growth seen there. So tell us, what are the key drivers behind the growth?
Okay, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. We're very delighted, you know, what we've seen in the first quarter. We've seen actually growth in all our income lines in terms of our advisory fees, in terms of our commission and fees on various activities, and the future is even brighter. We've seen, like I said, the growth is across the various businesses. We have investment banking play, which handles, which occurs on the platform of UBA Capital PLC, and we also conduct asset management, you know, trusteeship, and securities trading, you know, through our various subsidiaries, and all the businesses have recorded some growth.
But what is which part of your business has contributed the most to the growth?
Okay, you want me to break it down?
I want to know the one that has made the most impact.
Okay, I think our trust business, where we're actually the market leader, has been very impactful. But I must say that in terms of the contribution of the other businesses, you know, they haven't lagged behind by much. Okay, so we're actually seeing significant growth along the business lines. Okay, but in terms of which one has the nose ahead is the trust business. Okay,
now let's look closer. Despite your profit after tax going up 92%, the earning per share came down 7% to 14 naira. Now, is this purely because you issued more shares? What's going on there?
Yes, you know, as a result of the restructuring which got us spun out of UBA, okay, the combined entity had a bigger shareholder base, which are 4 billion shares, which relative to the previous year, you know, represents a much larger, you know, shareholding base. Okay, so if you were to adjust for that, it's actually an increased, you know, earnings per share.
I see. Now, yes. If we take a look at your fee and your commission income and investment income, there was a significant growth from last year. So give us more insight into what led into that increase in income.
Okay. Let's take the investment banking play. You know, for instance, we're taking part, you know, in advisory capacity in several transactions. If you look at the power sector, for instance, the privatization, we're advising on 3 of the 6 power plants, you know, which is a significant play in that sector. Similarly, in terms of you know, state governments issuing bonds, etc., we have several transactions, you know, that we're also consummating. So you see a lot of deals, you know, that we have in pipeline. You know, some have, you know, been completed in the first quarter, and you see a lot more, you know, that will be completed in Q2, Q3, and so on and so forth. So we are very delighted. We see a very positive outlook, and the future is bright.
And how are you coping with competition?
Well, we are used to competition. You know, we came out of UBA PLC, and if you know UBA PLC, we know how to compete. Something that you must recognize the fact that Nigeria is a very attractive country. We've been growing at 6 to 7% per annum GDP over the last decade. The economic indices are very positive, so we expect that there will be a lot of, you know, new players, you know, coming in. The existing players are also getting stronger. We are up for it, and you can see from the numbers that we're not doing badly at all.
Now, of course, the equities market is picking up. So, what's the outlook for investment banking business in Nigeria?
Very bright. You know, in terms of the equity market, you know, there's been some kind of shift since January in terms of the proportion of foreign portfolio investors relative to local investors. The ratio was more than 70% in favor of the foreign portfolio investors in January. Now that's come down to about 45%, which means that we see increased participation by Nigerian individuals and institutions, especially the PFAs. And we believe that's good for investment banking play. We also see a lot of opportunities in infrastructure space. You know, we're still a developing country, and there's so much that can be done in terms of transport infrastructure, in terms of even our seaport, in terms of a lot of other areas. Power, I've mentioned that, where we're advising on half of the transactions, done in the power plant sector. So we see a wide array of opportunities, and we're really excited about the future.